The first trash bag contained my clothes. The second contained books. The third contained everything else. My entire life fit into 3 black garbage bags, and my mother wanted the neighborhood to see it. I stood on the front lawn while people watched from their windows. Some pretended not to, most didn't bother pretending. Then my mother folded her arms and said, "Maybe now you'll learn how the real world works." I was 21 years old, unemployed, recently dropped out of college, and completely lost. The worst part of what she said was true. My name is Noah, and at 21 I looked like a failure. I wasn't using drugs, I wasn't getting arrested, I wasn't partying, I simply had no direction. I'd switched majors twice, dropped out once, returned, dropped out again. Every conversation at home ended the same way. My mother asking, "What's your plan?" And me saying, "I don't know." After a while, even I got tired of hearing it. My father died when I was 14. After that, my mother became two people. The woman she had always been, and the woman grief turned her into. She worked constantly, paid every bill, handled every crisis. I respected that. But somewhere along the way, compassion became impatience. Then impatience became resentment. By the time I turned 21, she looked at me and saw another burden. Not a son, a burden. The final argument happened on a Thursday. She came home exhausted. I was sitting at the kitchen table researching coding boot camps. She saw my laptop and laughed, not kindly, the other kind. Then she said, "You've been researching your future for 3 years." I didn't answer. She continued, "At some point you're supposed to start living it." The argument escalated. Voices rose, tempers flared. Then she said something she'd never said before. "You're a moocher." Silence. The word hung in the air, heavy, permanent. The next morning I woke up to noise outside. I looked through the window. My belongings were on the lawn, 3 black trash bags. My mother stood beside them, waiting. I walked outside. Neither of us spoke. Then she handed me $50 and said, "Figure it out." That was it. No goodbye. No hug, nothing. The first year was ugly, really ugly. I slept on friends' couches, worked retail jobs, delivered food, loaded trucks. Most nights I was exhausted. Some nights I cried, not because I missed the house. Because I missed having someone who believed in me. Then something changed. A friend introduced me to software development. For the first time in years, something clicked. Not easy, not fast, but possible. I spent every spare hour learning, coding, building, failing, repeating. For 2 years, every single day. At 24, I launched a small software company, nothing impressive at first. Then one client became 3, 3 became 10, 10 became 50. Suddenly things moved quickly. By 26, we had 40 employees. A downtown office, national clients, and more work than we could handle. For the first time in my life, I felt useful. One Tuesday morning, HR forwarded a resume. Normally, I never reviewed entry-level applications. This one was different. Because of the name, Margaret Collins, my mother, I stared at the screen for nearly a minute. Apparently, the manufacturing company she'd worked for 20 years had collapsed. Mass layoffs, position eliminated. Now she was looking for work. And somehow, she had applied to my company. The interview was scheduled automatically. She didn't know I owned the company. I knew because HR recognized the surname and asked if we were related. I said yes, then requested one thing: no special treatment. No special obstacles, just a normal interview. The day arrived. I watched through the office window. My mother entered the lobby carrying a folder. Older, more tired, more fragile. For a moment I barely recognized her. Then HR escorted her into the conference room. 5 minutes later I walked in. The look on her face is something I'll never forget. Shock, pure shock. For several seconds neither of us spoke. Then she whispered, "Noah." I nodded. Tears instantly filled her eyes, not mine, hers. Then she looked around the room, the office, the employees, the company logo, everything. And suddenly she understood. The interview never happened. Instead, we talked for nearly 2 hours about Dad, about grief, about mistakes, about everything we'd avoided for years. Then she said something I'd waited a long time to hear. I was wrong. Not about kicking me out, about how she did it, about the humiliation, about the trash bags, about making her son feel disposable. Ending before she left, she asked a question, one simple question. Do you hate me? I thought about the lawn, the neighbors, the trash bags, the years apart. Then I shook my head. No. She looked relieved until I continued. But I never forgot. A long silence followed. Then she nodded because she knew she wouldn't have forgotten either. A week later, we hired her, not because she was my mother, because she earned the job. And every time I walked past her office, I remembered something. The day she left my life in 3 trash bags felt like the end. It wasn't. It was the first day I was finally forced to figure out who I was. And ironically, the woman who believed I'd never make it became one of the first people to see that I had.